So we're here first. All right, ready? Action. Okay, good?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to be painting one of these. And this is a colour wheel. Now, colour wheel is a diagram of how secondary and primary colours are mixed together. So our three primary colours are yellow, blue and red. You can't make yellow and blue and red. They exist, okay? But when you mix primary colours together, you get secondary colours. So when you mix yellow and red together, you get orange. When you mix red and blue together, you get purple. When you mix yellow and blue together, you get green. Now I'm going to show you how to mix all these variations of say orange or green or purple. But basically the premise is that 50% red, 50% yellow makes secondary orange. If you add more yellow to it, you get a paler orange, and if you add more red to it, you get a darker orange, and the same goes for the purple and the green. This way you're learning how to darken and lighten a colour without adding black or white to it, because if you add white to it, it will go all pastel-y, and if you add black to it, it'll go all horrible and brown. So let's get started. Here is your palette over here. We have our three primary colours, yellow, blue and red. Remember, we can't make them, we have to mix them together. Now, we don't get too fancy about making the colour wheel, we just improvise. So here's a bucket, I get my pencil, I need a circle, so you find something to give you a circle. Then you figure out roughly where the centre is, and you just check it that it's close to the centre. Close enough, looking good. So that distance there is about the same as that distance there, that distance there, that distance there. If it's wrong, you've got to rub it out and do it again. Okay, then what I do is I start with a horizontal line, and then what I want to do is I want to divide it into 6 equal sections. Again, I'm just going to use my pencil to measure and get close. Close enough is good enough. Make sure everything runs through the centre, like that. Just get close. It doesn't have to be brilliant. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to designate these 3 areas as my primary colour areas. So yellow, red and blue. Alright, then what I'm going to do is obviously between the red and yellow, this is going to be the orange. I want to divide that up into 3 equal sizes. So again, I just guess it. Like that, about there, and about there. Beautiful, okay? And this will be orange, purple, and green. Alright, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint in the yellow section. So mixing a bit of water with the paint, get the paint off the back of the brush. Oh, my brush is dirty, so let's get it clean. Alright, don't use that section there because it's been polluted. Okay, this is called cutting in, where you paint the edge first. Use the tip of your brush to get into the inside corner. See how I turn the brush around to get into that inside corner, and then fill the middle part in. It's that quick. Wash the brush really well. I'll bring this over here. A good sized container of water. Have you got my water container there? Yeah? You're allowed to answer, you're allowed to talk back at me?
Yes.
Alright, brilliant, okay. So, and that laugh came from my other assistant over here. So, now I do red. Add a little bit of water to the paint. I'm rolling the paint off the back of the brush. Because if you do like that, you get all this paint on the back of the brush built up here. So if you roll the brush and it gets it back onto the tip, where you want it to be. Alright, into the corner with the tip of the brush. Into the corner with the tip of the brush. Keep the paint on the brush. Like that. And then fill in all this section here. Easy. Now I'm not going to do blue yet. I'm going to mix up my orange. So I take a good wad of yellow there. Oops, I've got a little, see that little bit of red? That would be a disaster if I'm making green, because then it'll turn it brown. But at the moment I'm doing orange, it's okay. So I'm going to grab all that yellow. And I really need to get this can you go get me an apron, mate, from over there? Alright, so I'm just going to get all the paint off the back of the brush. I just get it on my hands at the moment. See that? It's gone. Alright, now I'm going to grab a good lump of red. You're the man. Thanks. Alright, so there's my red. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make basketball orange, which is, you know, the colour that basketballs used to be. Just wipe your brush on your apron, okay, to get the paint off it. Okay, so I take a bit of orange, a bit of red, and a bit of yellow, and I mix basketball orange. Now the reason why I put my yellow here and not just grabbed it from there is because I'm going to be using that yellow to make green, and I don't want any red in it. So you mix them separately. Okay, basketball orange is like middle orange. Here we go. Painting into the centre. See, I'm leaning on my little finger. And I stopped talking while I was painting. Why? Because it helps me paint straight lines, because I'm actually holding my breath. Using the tip of the brush like that. There we go. 50% yellow, 50% red. Perfect basketball orange. Now, while I've got that, I'm going to grab the yellow here. And I'm going to mix next to it a lighter orange. Don't mix over the top of your orange, you want to mix it next to it so that you can compare the two. Get all the streaks out of it. Don't worry about the bell, we'll just keep going. There's that, there's the lighter orange, and because I'm sticking with the same recipe, I'm just going to add red to it. Now this one's tricky, we don't want it to be too red. We've got to compare it next to it. So I've got my light orange, my mid orange and my darker orange. And it's got to look different. It's not different enough. Add a bit more. How's that? Yep, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Does that look like it's a bit different?
Yep. Yes, sir.
It does. Alright, there it is. So we've got red, yellow, 50% yellow, 50% red, which makes like a mid-orange or a basketball orange. Orange and more yellow, orange and more red. Okay, now what we do, very quickly, because the bell's gone, can you run and close that door? Right, now I'm going to do the blue. Now blue, even though it's dark, is a bit of a transparent colour. Now it's up to you which one you do first. I like to do green. So I'm going to grab my blue. I'm going to choose a spot on my palette. There's my blue. Get the brush really clean. And I'm going to grab the yellow and put it next to it. Now I'm going to do my mid-green first. So I'm going to mix my blue and my yellow together to get a nice middle green. Beautiful. There it is. Nice middle green. Middleton green, I like that. Now I'm going to add yellow and go and do a really yellowy green. Green with more yellow, because that's how you lighten green. Notice how I'm not too fussy about it. It's more about me learning how to mix colour and just being fairly neat, but it's going to look like a painting. That's okay. Alright, and now on this side what I'm going to mix? More what?
Blue.
Blue, that's right, more blue, which will make an aqua colour. And see, better than my orange actually, with the greens I can actually see the difference. Alright, so here I go, painting in orange, green with more blue. So it's making like a turquoise colour. Beautiful. Happy with that? That's looking good, isn't it? Looking pretty cool. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make my purple. Now I've finished using all my colours, so I can probably make it a bit messy now. I can mix up my colours unless I'm sharing with someone. But I want to make what I call a Cadbury purple. Not trying to endorse any particular chocolate product, but Cadbury wrappers are kind of that really great mid purple. There it is right there. So there's my mid purple. Like that. And then purple with more red is maroon or maroon, which we normally associate with, say, the Queensland football team. That will go purple with more red there. There's the maroon. Nice and neat. Got to touch up this middle bit here. It's looking a bit dodgy. And then purple with more blue is a colour we call indigo. And it's pretty close to blue, but it's slightly purple if you compare the two. Probably needs a touch more red. And here's the indigo. Denim jeans were originally indigo. Alright, so there's our colour wheel. Pretty close, pretty good, pretty neat. We're not overly hugely fussy about being neat, but like it's neat enough. You know, everything's in the right place. And we can, at a glance, look at how the colours all mix together and how the secondary and the primary colours work. Now I'm going to make a tertiary colour, which is brown, which is by mixing yellow, blue and red. So I'm going to grab my yellow. The best way to make a brown is to make orange first. Like that. And then add touches of blue, a little bit at a time. Am I putting a great gobbing lump of blue in there?
Nope.
No, I'm not. And it's slowly but surely turning brown. And there's my brown. And I'm just going to put a patch of brown down here. Make a nice, neat rectangle of brown. Okay, now what I could do is I could add more yellow to the brown to get that kind of mustardy colour. Yeah, and then I could add more red to the brown to get a more, well, Ayers Rock ochre colour. And I could add more blue to the brown to get a more burnt brown colour. Now, if your brown turns green, it means you've got yellow and blue and not enough red. If your brown turns purple, it means you haven't got enough yellow. And if your brown turns orange, you haven't got enough blue. Now these relationships here are called complementary colours. This is the last thing I want to talk about before we finish. Blue and red make purple. The missing primary colour from purple is yellow. That's why they're called complementary or opposite colours. The missing primary colour from orange is blue. They're opposite or complementary colours. And green and red are the same. They're also complementary or opposite colours. Alright, there you have it. That's what your colour wheel looks like. And then you can go ahead and label it when you're done. More orange, more yellow, sorry. What am I doing? I don't know. More red, so on and so forth, etc. And talk about your little colour recipes down here as well. Alright, that's it. Go ahead and paint. We're done. Yep.